1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm sorry, but we're going to count the baby because he's going to be my 6th person. This is my persuasive speech as to why everybody should do their part in preserving our environment and reducing their carbon footprint. From the beginning of time, humans have been taking advantage of our earth by using it for food, shelter, and building materials. Until the late 1800s, there was no worries about pollutions and the effects humans have on our planet. It wasn't until the invention of coal and railroads that caused the clearing out of land that caused Arrhenius, who was a scientist, in 1896 to publish his first calculation of global warming and the effects humans have on our environment. In the 1950s, research was put into effect to look at the consequences of global warming. In the 1960s, people started doing their part in preserving our environment with the first green products that came out. Today, more and more people are realizing the effects that we have on our environment and the ozone, and we are all, well, most of us are recycling. Today, there is an excess amount of carbon dioxide and other gases in the atmosphere, and it's caused by burning fossil fuels like coal, gas, and oil. A lot of factories are to blame for global warming and for these gases that are emitting into our atmosphere. But it's also people too. The average American uses 15,000 pounds of carbon dioxide every year by using personal transportation, home energy use, and energy used to produce all products and services we consume. As humans, we emit something called carbon footprints. The definition of this is the amount of greenhouse gas that's used or produced to support human activity, rather directly or indirectly. Americans amount for 22 tons of carbon dioxide a year. Everything that we do has carbon cost with it. One way that we can lower our carbon footprints is by buying locally. Buying from a farmer's market lowers 1 carbon footprint. Or growing your own food will help too. The food that we actually consume have food miles with them. This is the distance that the food is traveled from the farm to the consumer. Food miles bought at a grocery store are 27 times higher than that bought from a local food place. Also, meat constitutes the highest amount of carbon emissions. If you give up meat 1 time a week, it saves 35,000 gallons of water. And if you eliminate meat completely, I know water, but it's used in this stuff like when you actually process the food. If you were to cut meat completely out of your diet, you would save 5,000 pounds of emission per year, and that's for 1 person. Also, watching plasma TVs for 3 hours a day contributes 250 kilograms of carbon per year. An LCD TV is half that amount. A lot of the politicians right now are actually very, very concerned with the effects greenhouse gases have on our ozone and what we're doing to protect our ozone. Obama has actually introduced a powerhouse energy department, and with this department he plans to reduce emissions by 80% by the year 2050. There are many consequences that come along with us not doing our part to reduce our carbon footprint. Actually, by the year 2050, there will no longer be polar ice caps, and many of the animals that live in that habitat will be forced into extinction, such as polar bears. One thing that's very simple that anybody can do is if you change a regular light bulb, with a compact fluorescent light bulb, you actually will save 150 pounds of carbon dioxide a year. Recycling saves 24,000 pounds of carbon dioxide a year. Cutting down garbage by 10% will save 12,000 pounds of carbon dioxide. Another simple thing you can do whenever you're leaving the house, unplug your hair dryers, phone chargers, and anything else with a cord, and it saves 20% on home energy. And that is why everybody should do their part to recycle and cut down their carbon footprints.
Yay!
Woo-hoo!
Yay!